The Insta360 X4 is here. And the X4 features a powerful combination of action-ready hardware and AI-powered software. The X4 is a versatile 360-degree action camera that makes it super easy and fun to capture and share your life. Before you buy the X4, let's talk about 24 things that you need to know. The X4 is now able to capture 8K 30 frames per second 360-degree video. This is a whopping 78% more pixels than the 5.7K video that the X3 was capable of. This increased detail and clarity makes it easy to use the reframed footage from the X4 and combine it with footage from other cameras. The 8K footage is also surprisingly easy to edit in the Insta360 app on your phone or in the Insta360 Studio on your computer. And thanks to the compression of the H.265 codec, the file size of the 8K footage is quite reasonable to work with. Another great thing about the X4 is the 360-degree video generates just one .insv file now. Previously, the X3 generated two .insv files per clip. You had to import both of these in order to see the full video to reframe it. Having just one .insv file helps a lot with file management and also makes it a lot easier with the reframing process. Another exciting thing about the X4 is the X4 has some incredible slow motion modes. These include 5.7K 60 frames per second and 4K 100 frames per second. On the X3, you could only do slow motion as high as 3K 100 frames per second. So having that 5.7K 60 and 4K 100 is much higher resolution footage, and it makes it look a lot better when you've reframed it and exported it. If you like to take photos with your action camera, then you're going to be excited about this next feature on the X4. The X4 has 72 megapixel PureShot photos. The X4 uses AI known as PureShot to process a 72 megapixel photo. And after you've reframed the image, you have a high quality, ready to share image. And the X4 does a great job in making that photo look good straight out of the camera. On the X4, there's a new field of view called Mega View. Mega View is a new field of view option, and it has less distortion at the edges and overall better image quality. And I found it does look quite good. Some of these samples right here were exported with that view, and they look really good all the way to the edges, and the image quality is spot on. So what if there are times where you don't want to use a 360-degree camera? What about those times where you just want an action camera where you can shoot a 16:9 video and export it to share it? I have good news for you. The X4 can do that too. In fact, with the X4, you get two cameras in one. The X4 doubles as a wide-angle action camera with 4K 60 frames per second single lens shooting. You can even get a 170-degree single lens field of view by selecting the free frame option under the single lens mode and then selecting the max view field of view. And that 170-degree field of view is very wide. So let's talk about cost. The cost of the X4 is $499. Now this may seem a bit steep at first, but when you consider you're getting a 360-degree camera that can shoot 8K 30 360-degree footage, as well as a single lens action camera, because of this, I actually consider the price an incredible value. You're getting two cameras in one for $499. But let's talk about what else you get with the X4. The X4 has a mode called Me Mode that offers a third-person view in up to 120 frames per second. Me Mode records flat videos in up to 170-degree field of view with the invisible selfie stick effect applied and no need to reframe later on. And this mode automatically keeps the subject centered. Basically, this mode turns the X4 into a normal point-and-shoot camera with a selfie stick. And this mode maxes out at 4K 30 frames per second or 2.7K 120 frames per second. So speaking of selfie sticks, the X4 offers the invisible selfie stick effect for epic third-person views. What this means is the selfie stick will disappear in your edit. And this enables you to capture aerial angles and third-person angles without the selfie stick showing. These are third-person views that are impossible with other cameras. Basically, it allows you to create footage that someone's going to look at and say, how did that person create that footage? It really is that good. I like to call these shots that look like you brought along an entire film crew. And with the 10-foot extended edition selfie stick, you're able to capture even more unique angles, especially if you use this in an aerial sense or out in front of you. You can get footage from really far away. This extended selfie stick is one of my favorite accessories because I like to use this in places where I can't use a drone. Now, as you'd imagine, a lot of places I hike, they're in national parks or along the Appalachian Trail, and you're not allowed to use drones along there. And I love the unique vantage point that the extended selfie stick can get you. So another great improvement that Insta360 has made to coincide with the X4 is they've created a lot of improvements with their Insta360 mobile app. And from my perspective, the X4 has the most powerful mobile editing experience of any camera I've owned. And the app now offers 3 intuitive ways to edit your footage from the X4. First, you can do the quick edit mode. The quick edit mode allows you to choose from several simple reframing options. You can physically move your phone, you can swipe on the screen, you can use the new virtual joystick, or you can long press on the screen to activate Deep Track 3.0. In addition, the upgraded algorithm makes your movements look even smoother, and the best part is the resulting clip can be saved directly to your phone, and you can share it right from your phone. That means you don't have to move it to any other device before sharing. The second method you can use in the app is the AI edit method. If you don't know where to start with reframing, simply choose what AI recommends and edit with one tap. And the third method you can use with the app is the Pro mode. The Pro mode offers a more hands-on approach, and you can add keyframes and get the customized look that you're going for with several advanced features. These advanced features include Shot Labs, and these are under the edit page in the Insta360 app. Shot Lab is a collection of viral video effects that allow for simple editing with AI to choose the effect that you want. Motion ND is another advanced feature in here, and I really love the Motion ND effect. The Motion ND effect allows you to get that cinematic motion blur without needing to put ND filters on your camera, and it does a really good job with applying that effect to your footage. Another great thing about the Insta360 app is it now has background downloading. This means you can download footage from the X4 to your phone without needing to keep the Insta360 app up on the screen. And this is the first app that I found that does that. Competing apps from DJI and GoPro, at this point you have to keep those open on the screen while you download the footage, and you can't do other things on your phone, which is kind of unfortunate. So props to Insta360 for designing the app with background downloading. Another exciting feature about the X4 is AI gesture control. You can now use a hand to start and stop the recording, and you can also use your hand to take a photo. This is perfect for group selfies, noisy environments where you can't do the verbal controls of your camera, or if you don't want to attract attention by yelling a command at your camera. That simple gesture is a great way to discreetly start and stop your recording. In addition, this is convenient for controlling the X4, especially if you're like me and you're going to be using it on a selfie stick like this, where it can be up to 10 feet away. Then you don't have to push record and get it extended all the way up. You can just use the gesture to start it recording or stop it recording. And you might be wondering, do you have to have the camera right here in front of you? No, you don't. You can be anywhere in the frame. As long as this camera can see your hand to start and stop, it will see it and it will start and stop. In addition, this allows skiers or motorcyclists to control their camera without needing to take off their gloves. Another exciting feature about the X4 is it now comes with 5.7K bullet time. This means you can now get matrix level slow motion in 5.7K 120 bullet time. This footage looks more cinematic than ever with that higher resolution and frame rate. And bullet time is a great option for couple shots or for a dramatic shot. So if you're like me and you like to do time lapses or time shift videos, the X4 is able to capture a stunning 11K time lapse from a stationary position. And 11K is a lot of pixels and a lot of resolution. The time lapse looks really good. And then what you can do is you can reframe it later on to add some motion, or you can just leave it in a static position. The X4 can also shoot an 8K time shift video. With time shift, you can easily shoot a cool creative video that looks great on social media. Now, in addition to the phone app being better than ever, the Insta360 Studio app for computers is also better than ever. The Studio app has keyframing and 360-degree editing tools that help you maintain the quality of the video without a quality loss. When you export from the Insta360 Studio, I recommend using the following settings to avoid that quality loss. So go down and click Export Reframe Video. And for the bitrate, put in 100 megabits per second. For the resolution, put in 4K, which is 3840 by 2160. And then export with either the H.265 or the ProRes 422 codec. Now, the ProRes 422 codec is technically the highest quality, but the file size is also going to be quite large. The H.265 codec will give you nearly the same level of quality, but with a much smaller file size than the ProRes 422. Therefore, if space is an issue, or if you don't care about getting the very, very highest quality, then H.265 is what I recommend going with. And the nice thing about the Studio app is once you've keyed in those settings, you can save them as a preset right up here with this option. Then when you go to export more files, you can simply apply that preset and hit export. Another exciting thing about the X4 is it now has removable lens guards. This solves a major pain point of 360-degree cameras. and that is that the lenses here, they stick out, and it's easy to bump them into something or scratch them. But with the lens guards, you can protect your lenses from getting damaged. And these lens guards are easy to attach and remove. All you have to do is pop it on, twist it into place, and it's good to go. And the standard lens guards do come included with the X4, but Insta360 also sells premium lens guards. And the premium lens guards are a step up from the standard lens guards. These have scratch-resistant tempered glass and are highly transparent, offering those really nice crystal clear shots. Speaking of glass, the X4 now has an even larger touchscreen. The touchscreen on the X4 is now 2.5 inches. On the X3, the touchscreen was 2.29 inches. This new 2.5-inch touchscreen is also more rugged. The touchscreen on the X4 is made from Corning Gorilla Glass, and this large screen makes it easier to control the camera, to change modes, and to change some of the more advanced settings on the camera. So to go along with that larger touchscreen, the X4 also has a 2,290 milliamp hour battery. This battery is much larger than the battery in the X3. And this battery gets you 135 minutes of recording time on a single charge if you're using 5.7K 30 frames per second. And that of course was in a controlled lab environment, but the longer battery life is definitely noticeable. And even if you're in the 8K 30 mode, you're able to get a whopping 71 minutes out of a single battery charge. And when I brought this camera along on a rather lengthy hike, I filmed a lot of footage, and a lot of it was 8K 30, and then some of it was 5.7K 60. I was expecting to have to change out the battery, but this battery got me a lot further than I was expecting. Another noticeable improvement on the X4 is this camera now has superior flow state stabilization. And this is even when you're running or doing other rough activities, like this bike ride for instance. That was a rather bumpy ride, and the stabilization was incredible. You can count on flow state to deliver smooth shots no matter how intense the action gets. The X4 of course also has 360-degree horizon lock. So no matter how the X4 is held, mounted, or moved around, the video will come out perfectly level thanks to that 360-degree horizon lock. If you like to bring along your action camera in the water, the X4 is waterproof up to 33 feet below the surface, right out of the box. But do make sure all of your doors are latched and closed here, because if they're not, then it's not going to be waterproof. And if you're going to use your X4 in the water often, I recommend upgrading to the invisible dive case. With the invisible dive case, you can take the X4 all the way down to as deep as 164 feet. Another great thing about the X4 now has even faster transfer times. The X4 now has USB-C 3.0. On the X3, it was USB-C 2.0. But with USB-C 3.0, you get 2 times faster data transfer speeds. So when I plug this into my computer and start the files copying, they copy 2 times as fast as they did with the X3. And that's great, especially if you have a lot of files to copy off. It cuts that copy time in half, which is exciting because I'm kind of eager to get to editing my files and I don't like to wait any longer than I have to. In addition, the X4 has 58% faster Wi-Fi transmission speeds. So this means when you're copying files from your X4 to your phone, the files are going to copy 58% faster than they did with the X3. Let's talk about microphones on the X4. So the X4 has very similar built-in microphones to the X3. And if you're going to use the microphones on the X4, I recommend selecting the automatic wind reduction mode. I find this gives the best results, and I like the sound when using this mode. But if you don't want to use the built-in mic, if you have a use case for a more professional mic sound, then the great news is with the X4, you can pair the DJI Mic 2 via Bluetooth to this camera. So you can then use this as an external wireless mic, and you don't have to plug in any part of the mic to the X4. You can use it wirelessly. So that's a great innovation for any time when you want really good quality audio. And the X4 does of course have additional modes that the X3 also had. Those include the Starlapse mode, some of the HDR video and photo modes, as well as the interval mode, the loop recording mode, and the burst mode. So if you want those modes on your camera, the X4 has them. And when I've been playing around with those modes, I find them to be even better than the X3. The Starlapse mode in particular, I like using that one a lot. Love Starlapses, and it makes it really easy to stitch them in the app and then share them. So if you're new to 360-degree cameras, I highly recommend checking out the X4. And if you're like me and you own the X3, I definitely recommend looking at the X4 and considering it for an upgrade. The improvements and innovation on the X4 took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting quite that much innovation. I love it that Insta360 is continuing to compete and innovate. It definitely shows with the X4, and I'm super pumped to bring along the X4 on my hiking adventures. If you're an X4 owner and you're looking for the best settings for your X4, check out this video right here.